What is up, my Star Wars people? How's everyone doing today? How are you doing today, Jeff?
I'm doing great. I was so stressed earlier. Work sucks sometimes.
Yeah,
Um,
that it does.
uh, yeah, our software went down for like 5 days. Thank God I was not
Ooh,
there for two of them.
yeah.
I was at Star Wars Celebration.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I'm so happy to be here. We just reviewed the trailers for She-Hulk and Thor: Love and Thunder, and I am super excited to review Obi-Wan episode 1 and 2. Good
So,
lord.
how long did you stay on the whole naked Thor scene? Because I heard like
Uh
that's like everyone's pausing on that scene.
uh See, I only did it for the fact that I had to capture the picture so I can put on the slide. That was my only purpose of ever pausing on that scene because I don't need to see a god like person look like a god. Okay? And he's
That is
real.
true. Yeah,
I don't need to feel worse about myself any more than I do.
that is true. So, yeah, we both were at celebrations last week. We actually made it through celebration. Well, I did at least without spoilers because you watched it Thursday, right? Watch
Uh
both these Thursday.
I watched it at home. I was supposed to watch it there, but Troy was here for our Mondo mail call, so I had to be here. I had to
Yeah,
be here. He was one of my first
responsibilities.
people I was on a panel with. So yeah, definitely. And um but yeah, I still got to see the episodes. I don't
No,
care.
you did. Yeah, no. I'm surprised I made it through the weekend without spoilers, though.
I'm surprised, but the good thing is when you're at Star Wars Celebration, when you're with real Star Wars fans, they don't fuck with real Star Wars fans.
No,
So they're not. So other people will actually ask if you've seen it, so they don't talk about it around you. So that's awesome.
exactly,
I love it.
exactly. Though I think it was Big Rob that tried to spoil a little something for me.
Oh, I
But
don't know. I wasn't there for that.
yeah, that was at Disneyland. But anyways, we'll let's roll down the chat here real quick. So I'll try and do this quickly as possible. Obviously, we got our four horsemen. We got Rudy here today, the backbone, our first wrench of the group. You've got something. Let me highlight these fools. There's Rudy.
I'll
Uh,
get you the banner. I get you the banner.
Thank you. We got something Wong. I mean, troublemaker. I mean, he's their version of Cyclops. You know, he's the Havoc to our Cyclops, I guess you'd say. You've got Danime, etc., and Glenn 2K. Glenn from across the pond. We might have to go visit him next year. I mean, Star Celebration's going to be there next year. And then we got Buster or Beats by Munster, our DJ. Great stuff as always. Obviously, the intro was not him, but the outro will be him. Looks like we got. I notice we have Exo Bravo, and I believe a rare sighting of Battle 6 Panda too. It's nice to see both of you guys there. Hope you both are doing well. As usual, the bossy Ninja. I mean, Ninja the Ninja.
I didn't say that.
I said it. I'll cop to it. I have balls. I'm cool.
You want to get him chopped off?
Brandon was nice enough to make a stop by. I know he's doing a Star Wars thing. I think he did earlier tonight, actually.
I'll have to go check that out.
Yeah, definitely. He's always got good stuff going on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Let's see who else. Speaking of Glenn, there's Glenn.
That was a quick.
Yeah, there you go. Is that better?
Yeah, that was funny.
Let's see.
Someone has not watched episode 3 here, and they don't want it spoiled.
Yeah. So
if Jared pissed you off, you know where to put it.
Ixnay on saying shit about the third episode. I wanted to come into this clean because I kind of want to end every episode where we kind of guess what's going to happen next. So purposely, I'm not watching the episode beforehand. That being said, before you even watch the show, Jeff, what were your kind of expectations? Because like I didn't see the trailer at all, so I went into it pretty much blind, other than the artwork.
To be honest, I don't even remember watching the trailer. I know I've watched it. I just don't remember it. What did I expect? I expected it obviously to be within the 20 years slash 18 to 20 years in between. I was thinking probably about halfway through because I know that they had casted Luke, and Luke's age was supposed to be around, I want to say 8 to 10. So that was the casting call. And
Right.
so when I heard that, then I knew it was probably somewhere set in the middle, probably closer to episode 4. Um, I was actually expecting him to be straight up a hermit, um,
Yeah.
just watching over Luke from a really really afar. Um, I actually didn't expect much from him. I was thinking, so I did. Uh, the worst thing is when you hear the casting call for Luke, you hear the casting call for the other people, and so I knew who the other person was going to be in it, and so I already knew the storyline was probably going to be around that person,
Right.
because nothing was ever mentioned. And so
Right.
once that happens, you know that they're keeping the story tightly sealed around this particular character. And so my thought is whatever happens, it's off world, because one, you can't have it happen on Tatooine. You bring too much attention to that planet, and
Right.
as far as we know, going to episode 4, Luke has been living there pretty much unabated by the
Non-existent.
Empire. Yeah. So and then you've got so my whole thought was everything has to happen off world, and we're gonna see other characters hopefully connected to maybe the Clone Wars or Rebels or anything like that.
Yeah. I was actually I went into it. I didn't even know about the casting call. I figured it was it was gonna be kind of around Luke, and I was just like, I don't give a shit about fucking Luke.
But the
I'll
thing
be
is
honest.
you kind of also knew it wasn't, because
Yeah.
they never really met,
Well,
like,
they
as much.
never met,
I
but I
mean, they
kind of
knew of each
figured
other.
right. He knew he was the crazy old man in the
Yeah.
woods, basically.
Yeah.
But I kind of figure, well, maybe he'll travel around and he'll kind of settle there, that type of thing. Maybe that type of thing. But who knows? I will say, I was pleasantly surprised when it halfway through the episode changed. But let's start off the first with opening up. First off, for all us old fucks, they gave us a recap because a lot of us aren't going to go back and watch episode 1, 2, and 3 again. Sorry, it's slightly better than the prequel or than the sequels, but a lot of us won't go back and watch it. But he kind of refreshed us, let us know.
I don't mind the prequels. I'm not a prequel hater. I've always liked the prequels. I just didn't like certain parts of it.
I mean, they're not horrible. They're not horrible.
I mean, because look, for each movie, you can find something really good in each movie, like something really good. So, like Duel of the Fates in episode 1, you got
Padme's
all those
outfits in 2.
That, and you got all those Jedi's fighting in episode 2. Like, that is awesome. Like, there is no other scene in any other Star Wars.
We're gonna get that again.
Jedi. Yeah,
we're gonna get that again with High Republic.
Hopefully, yes. And then the third one, obviously, come on, the Battle of Mustafar.
The Battle of Mustafar is kind of cool, but I was more, and that's just because I'm dark and twisted. Actually, I enjoy the cutting down of the younglings, but that's just me.
Okay, so yeah.
Where's that one banner you want to throw out there?
I think you need a red tint on your side of the window.
Yeah. But anyways, so they gave us a recap, kind of let us know, okay, this is what happened. Now we're gonna jump 10 years ahead, and we end up at obviously Tatooine. I mean, obviously.
Wait. They did a recap, but you forgot your favorite part almost.
What's that?
They start with Order 66.
Oh yes, they do start with 66. They do the recap. They start with 66, and it's cool because we kind of get an extra scene in there. Because it looked like it may have been a cut scene. I don't know.
The best part about that whole scene though is that you can connect it to the Mandalorian with
Yep.
baby Grogu, right? With his background, and then you can connect that to episode 3 of the prequels. So like that is, I like how that synergy worked. It
No,
made me feel like I was just in another room, but in that movie.
right. No, exactly. It definitely did that. And it gave you a new twist on that scene, on the whole, what was going on during that. Because the first time we kind of had
We thought
it
everyone
is so,
got murdered and slayed and
yeah.
slaughtered and
What's up, Sam, my man?
yeah, I mean, as actual fans who've like read the legend books and stuff like that, like, and don't get me wrong, I've not read all of them, but what I've read is like there are stories of Jedi's escaping Order
Oh yeah.
66, going to the Outer Rims, even going beyond. So like, there's all those stories of people leaving, but not a lot.
What I thought was kind of interesting is I never got the feeling, at least in episode 4, that they realized that Obi-Wan had gotten away. Like I'd never gotten, like they knew Jedi's gotten away, but it was never
Well, to me,
brought up that he was
I
one
would
of
have expected they thought that because because Anakin survives.
right. No,
Because once
I know.
Anakin survives, then he can tell the story of, well, obviously Obi-Wan got away if he's the one laying there on fire.
Right.
So I
But
mean, they knew he got away. I don't know if they knew Yoda got away though. That was the question, because there was no mention of Yoda.
yeah,
And the fact that he was master on the council and fought Palpatine right beforehand, but Palpatine probably in his
his wisdom,
or wisdom or lack of his what do you call it?
compassion.
No. He's full of himself.
His
So
ego.
yeah, his ego probably thought that he killed Yoda.
Possibly, that is possible. But anyways, let's get back on track a little bit.
Yes.
So we open up, and I believe the first scene is the bar scene, correct? The outside cantina. I don't
Yes.
even want to read the comments. I'm scared.
Wait, don't we get Obi first? Is it Obi first, or is it the cantina first?
I thought it was the cantina where they're looking for the Jedi, and they know it's a place that's safe for Jedis.
I don't know which one came first though.
But maybe it is where they show that Obi is working at some.
I think so. I think it
meat
is.
packing place in the desert. Yeah, I would not. I don't know what fucking meat that was. Crate dragon, maybe.
I thought of it as a sand shark.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like to me. Yeah, I don't understand how the food lasted so long, because they look like they're out in the middle of nowhere.
Or how he's cutting off the meat and they're not doing anything about it.
Well, I
mean he's a Jedi, but yeah, but still. But anyways, so we get that whole part of him coming. He was working there, and I guess he comes to town. Because that does come first, because he's feeding his camel or whatever the fuck it is, and that's when the commotion happens. Yeah, the meat was fucking gross. It did kind of. It was like just seeing me. Yeah.
It works different planets, I guess.
Yeah. So they end up. We find out that's what he's been doing to stay low. He's been working at like a meat packing place, and he comes back, goes into town. We might even get the scene with him going back to his place actually first.
Yes, because I
So
think he goes through the whole, like, I think the whole point was is to show us his routine,
right,
which is just daily for the last 10 years, basically.
yeah. Though one of my favorite moments is in that scene where he goes back to his place, and one of my favorite people, the Jawas, show up with, "Oh, I found this part that you were looking for."
He's got a friend, man. A friend that steals from his ass.
At least he's not sleeping with it, unlike that other girl on Mandalorian. But so he gets some part to put together, which we later find out is the plane that Luke likes to play with down the road. But he also finds out this guy and he calls him on it. He's like, "Dude, quit stealing parts from, at least clean it afterwards if you're gonna sell it back to me." And I love the comment that Jaw was like, "That would cost more if I cleaned it." So we then kind of go back to the routine again. We think, okay, we're just gonna get this a couple times because he's spying on Luke and watching that. I think the next scene now is the bar scene where the Inquisitors show up with the sister and the brother. I forget what they always call them.
Third sister. Oh, the Inquisitors.
Yeah, it's an Grand Inquisitor. Is it third sister and
fifth,
seventh brother?
Fifth brother.
Fifth brother. I wish they just put numbers on the front of them, make it easier. If you're gonna have a stupid name like fifth brother and third sister, just wear the number at least. But anyways, they show up at a bar, and they're looking for a Jedi. They don't say who they're looking for.
Well, they say that there's a rumor
right
that they've heard, and it came from that bar in Tatooine, and yeah, so that's where they are.
Yeah, and that's where we learn that the third sister is a psycho. Where she is 1 inch off the leash there a little bit. Great character, by the way. I love her. She's on my crew any day. She's badass.
She's a rabid dog, but they're hunters. What do you expect? Oh, yeah. Right? And on top of that, they're Sith. So what do you expect? Yep. I mean, they're not Sith.
Not Sith, technically.
Right. Yeah. Technically, they're not Sith because there's only can be 2. But they are on the dark side. Mm-hmm. And they follow that same path. And that path is anger. Right?
And rage.
Fear and rage. So like you would expect someone on the dark side to have that much rage, if not even more. Because we've seen the way Anakin has raged out, and you don't want to get him pissed off. He'll kill kids.
No, but that scene where she takes the lightsaber, and only because the Grand Inquisitor stops her from severing the guy does she stop. I was like, I love you. You're perfect. I'm sorry, I'm twisted.
Look, I do want to talk about her, but we'll talk about her later. We'll save that for later. But she was very, very jumpy, and just like that Grand Inquisitor said, she's reckless. And she has a reason to be reckless because she just doesn't care about what they're searching for. That's not her. That's not the prey that she wants.
Yeah. So. No, she has bigger fish to fry. She wants Obi-Wan, and she claims it. But, so we go through that whole scene, and they throw a knife to trigger the Jedi that is there out, and smoke him out.
And it was very key what the Grand Inquisitor said. We don't hunt Jedi. Jedi hunt themselves because they leave a trail of compassion.
Mm-hmm.
And everywhere they go, they cannot help but abiding by the Jedi code.
Yeah.
So that's how he caught himself, and that's how they found him, and that's why she threw the freaking knife at the dude's head, because she didn't care if he died, but she knew that someone would try to save him.
Yes.
And if he wasn't there, who else to her?
No, it's like, okay, one less person to deal with. Oh well. But anyways, so he goes. No, I agree. I agree. I'm going to definitely next Star Wars celebration. I'll have to get a picture with her. But anyways, um, after that they go running out and chasing after him. He gets away at that time, but I think that's where they end that scene. Correct? Is it he gets away?
He gets away. Yeah.
But then he ends up running into. Well, first
later.
Yeah. First we have is it the uncle?
So we go back to
that's right. Go ahead.
Yeah, we go back to Obi. He I think he goes out to watch over Luke. Sees that Luke is like his father, Anakin, is very into pod racing. Did exactly like his father used to do, which was get on top of that little area and yeah. So it's very callback, flashback, parallel, and then he does bring over the stuff he bought from the Jawa over
the airplane.
Yeah. And if you guys watch episode 4, that's the airplane that Luke was supposed to be playing with. I don't know if it was in the movie or it was a cut scene, but
I think it was in the movie.
I think it was in the movie too. Yeah, there was something else that was a cut scene, but it's in the movie. It's a 3-winged, vehicle, spacecraft, but
it sparks his imagination.
Yes. I forget where we go after that though.
I believe after that we go back to the meatpacking place.
No. He runs into.
Oh yes.
He runs into the Jedi now.
I think he did that actually. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, he runs into Jedi. I know we see him go through the whale thing twice, but
he goes through it 3 times, I think. But anyways, he runs into the Jedi, or the Jedi runs into him. The Jedi's like, "I know you. I know you're Obi-Wan," and he's going, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." First, try to play it off, and the guy's like, "Listen, dude, I know who you are. Be a Jedi. Help me, save me. They're gonna kill me." And
he said, "My name's Ben, dude."
Yeah, he's like, my name's Ben, and I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Eventually, he kind of cops to it and goes, "The best thing you can do is bury that fucking lightsaber."
Yeah, he shows him the lightsaber, so he's like, "Damn it."
Yeah. So, and he's just like, "Dude, you just need to hide that thing and just hide. Bury that toss it in the sand and get rid of it and just hide.
Live a normal life."
And
he says some very important things, though. He says, "We lost the war. We lost, so that there's no more fight, and the time of the Jedi is over," which is what Luke says in episode 7 or 8.
I think so. Yeah.
And
it's kind of a sad moment because you realize you go and look at Obi-Wan when it comes in episode 4, and you kind of can see the defeated Obi-Wan at the beginning. Like, this is obviously like working its way to that, where he's just kind of like, it is what it is, dude. We lost. My best friend turned on us and killed all the kids.
When I watched these 2 episodes, I actually asked a question to myself. I go, there's always this legend of, Anakin Skywalker was a great Jedi. Mace Windu was a great Jedi, right? One of the greatest Jedis, right? Yoda was one of the greatest Jedis, but they always said Obi-Wan was one of the greatest Jedis.
Right, but he never proved it.
But no, well, he did, because he killed Anakin.
He left him. Anakin. He left him for dead.
Right. But you asked the question, one of the greatest Jedis in the history, was he one of the greatest and also one of the biggest failures? because from the beginning he took on Qui-Gon's request of training Anakin, who was old, to be trained, gave him the tools of the Force, didn't teach him well enough to stay within the light side, let the dark side seep in, then failed to kill him when he had the chance. And he was supposed to, because once that it's the Jedi code, you have to kill the Sith. Like, you cannot.
But they also got to it's a fine line because it's the whole respecting life thing.
Right. But he even said to him, you know, I have to kill you. Like, I mean, basically in so many words, like,
but it broke his heart to do that.
Absolutely. And that's why he didn't finish it, is because he still had the feelings. So he kind of effed up and he didn't follow the Jedi code.
Yeah. And now it comes back to bite him in the ass.
Exactly. So was he the biggest failure as well?
Quite possibly, since Jar Jar Binks wasn't one.
Well, Jar Jar Binks wasn't having the Force, thank God.
Yeah. Anyways, so we have that whole scene, and then
fucking Rudy.
So we then now go back to start the whole day over again, his whole routine. This time, though, when he goes to feed his pet, and Uncle Ben shows up. And Uncle Ben, like, basically throws the stuff at him. And he's going, "What is this?" And like, you know, Uncle Owen. I'm sorry, Uncle Owen. But he throws shit at him and says, "We don't need this stuff. Quit. Just leave him alone. You killed his father already. You're not going to just fuck up the kid too." And just kind of showing how much of an asshole Uncle Ben or Uncle Owen is.
Well, I mean, no, it also
He's protective.
It shows exactly his character, right? The when you get to episode 4, he hates the Jedi.
Yeah.
He doesn't care for the Empire, but he hates the Jedi.
Yeah, but he can at least deal with it.
There's a good reason why, right? Like, his brother was, or his half brother was a Jedi, and or stepbrother, and he turned like the worst evil in the whole freaking universe, the galaxy. and then you know, Obi-Wan is bringing hell to them. So I don't know.
Do you remember if they ever show like a little kid Uncle Owen in the prequels?
Yes.
It's been so long, I don't remember.
They showed both, but they weren't. I don't think they were little. They were like teenagers, getting married or just married. Yeah. Because this is when Anakin's mother marries Owen's father. Right. Is it Lars?
Or maybe.
I don't know. I can't remember.
He's at least a drummer Metallica. But anyways, so they kind of have this whole fight, and then a commotion happens out in the middle of the thing. Or no, he ends up walking away from him, doesn't he?
What's that?
Obi-Wan just kind of leaves Owen.
No, so what happens is the Inquisitors show up. So the fifth brother and the third sister show up.
Right, but they were separated when they were in the crowd.
Right. Well, he was inside. He was inside where his animal was, his AOP.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how I fucking remember that. And Owen had stepped outside and to see what was going on outside, because there was a commotion going on because his fifth brother was yelling. They were looking for this Jedi, which was not Ben.
No, because they still hadn't caught the other one that they had exposed.
Right. I think his name was Nari or something like that.
I just call him Bait. Because that's what he was. Oh, don't spoilers. We haven't got there yet.
Well, they're all dead. Trust me.
Yeah. But anyways, at some point during there, excuse me, there's enough space between the two of them that Uncle Owen gets threatened by the Uncle Owen gets threatened by
Third sister.
the third sister, and basically she threatens she's going to kill him if the Jedi doesn't step forward.
And
She's meaning
she did one thing though that was Star Warsy as Star Wars can get.
cut off an arm.
She took off her right hand.
Oh yeah, yeah. They love to get handy there. But she's everyone thinks in that moment she's calling out bait, but she's definitely calling out for Obi-Wan because she's looking for Obi-Wan. She doesn't care about the other dude. You can have 100 of the other dudes; it doesn't equal Obi-Wan, as far as she's concerned.
It was kind of like that kind of stuff. I'm iffy on the half and half where I'm like, it was quite coincidental that she picks Owen.
Yeah,
I mean, too coincidental sometimes. But then
I would have let him get cut.
But I also remember, she does have the Force, so maybe it's a connection thing. So I'll let it slide. But it's very coincidental, even though he has there's 50 other people around.
Yeah.
So
either way, basically the other brother the Inquisitor shows up and puts a stop to it, doesn't he?
No, so she's threatening him, and fifth brother tells her to just stop, and she turns off the lightsaber, and they walk off.
But I want to say this is also right when they have the conversation. Like they walk off, but I want to say the Grand Inquisitor shows up with fifth brother, and they tell her basically, "We know you want Obi-Wan. We'll get Obi-Wan, but you need to know your role."
I think that part comes in honestly at the end of the episode or in the second episode. Yeah.
No,
So,
it's definitely not the second episode.
Yeah,
because they're built up to it. It's definitely in this episode because pretty much after this, the only other thing really happens on there is the other Jedi ends up getting caught and hung.
Yes, he's hung. He's strung up. He's not hung. He's just strung up. He's dead.
Yeah.
And it's just like, when they put a pike with someone's head on it, right? In medieval times, that's just a signal to other people, right? This is what happens.
Right. Because I want to say after that was all on another planet, wasn't it?
Yes. So after that, we get a new character.
Yeah.
Or introduced to an old character, but a new actor.
Yes. So then we get introduced. We go off a desert planet and we go to the beautiful Alderaan, which I was really happy to see because Alderaan is more entertaining than the fucking desert planet, as far as I'm concerned. But we end up meeting Leia as a child. And whoever they got to play Leia as a child, like people are saying that they like CGI'd her a little bit to make her look like Leia. I don't know if that's true, but she looked not perfect, but she looked about what I would imagine Leia would look like as a kid.
Yeah, I thought about it at first. I was like, her acting was that spunkiness of Leia, but right. I didn't know she looked like her. And then there was a scene off planet where I was like, oh, that's like picture perfect Leia as a child.
Well, and to be honest, we'll roll back a little bit. We see them go into a room and they're showing a girl, and we assume it's Leia, getting her robes put on, getting all dolled up for some political soiree or something. And then her mother reaches and touches her hand. And you see the hand is like a white hand, not like white like mine, but like a
Gray,
white like
like
Mickey
grayish.
Mouse.
Yeah.
And we realize that it's like one of her friends or one of her attendants. And she basically says something to the extent that,
The princess thought you would think that was funny.
yeah. And we see they then cut to Leia running around out in the wilderness of Alderaan with her new Hasbro toy, that they've already got coming out. Lola, which, let's be honest, they always have to have a cute droid. I mean,
dude, I can imagine Mickey Mouse ears like the freaking Lola.
I can imagine backpacks like her.
Oh, there's all kinds of stuff.
We're gonna get stuff like that. But I mean, it's also a trademark of Star Wars.
Duh.
There's always a robot. There's always one good robot in there. But anyway, so we get that, and they eventually catch her. They get her to come back. But I want to say at that time, even didn't we see like some dark, menacing figure in the outside? Yes. We didn't know who it was at first.
So when her mother gets her, they go back inside, and we just see the back of a figure in the woods. Yeah.
So she ends up getting dressed and going to this gala, excuse me, or whatever it was, this big important thing, and we get the seeds planted for her eventually becoming a junior senator and all of her political aspirations that her father has for her down the road.
We'll see. I don't know necessarily if he has aspirations for her like that, because she's a secret in a sense.
No, they've in the books they've made that.
I know. In the books it's different, right? She was raised to be a senator.
Yeah, even in the Disney books, they came out with that's how she met Hodor or whatever her name is.
Okay,
like they were all in the junior.
Why they were senators. Oh, they did. So they brought that back, that they're schoolmates,
right?
And stuff like that. Okay.
Right. He's purposely put her on the track to become a junior senator and eventually be a senator for Alderaan. But she at one point gets in trouble because she has a cousin that doesn't necessarily like her.
Just a cousin who's full of himself. You know, that asshole that thinks he's better than you.
So me. But anyways.
You're just fear and you are afraid and you'll never make a decision in your whole life.
Well, and he also, in a sense, like, he's not happy because she's going to take over. She's going to end up being the queen of the planet eventually. And that she's going to be in front of him over ruling the planet, which is still a kind of figurehead role anyway. So she gets talked to by her father, and he leaves her like on the balcony or something, which is just a dumb move on his part.
He knows his daughter.
Yeah.
He knew what was up. He was just playing into it. At least that's what I think.
I think to a degree, yeah. What's up, sir? So she ends up going right back out to the woods. She's going out there with Lola. Oh, actually, after she stole Lola back from her mother because her mother took it from her.
Yeah, her mom knew.
Yeah, well, she called her on the scene. And then a chili pepper shows up. You want to go from there, Jeff?
Yeah, so obviously she gets caught outside because I mean you kind of see this happening, right? You're watching the show. It's kind of forecasting, foreshadowing that someone's there who's watching her is obviously going to try to kidnap her. So Flea is outside. Flea of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, which is, to me, I mean, he looks like a scum and villainy kind of guy.
He looks kind of alien too.
But yeah, but but it is jarring the fact that it's Flea. So the face is like they didn't even make him try to look different at all.
Yeah,
Like not even a little bit. Um so
they definitely gave it away.
so yeah, I mean it kind of throws you off a little, but still he, like I said, he looks like scum and villainy, so sure, why not? He's a kidnapper. And him and two other people are there to try to kidnap her. She's running around. Um Obviously it's really awkward when you're seeing a little 8-10-year-old running trying to outrun adults, full grown adults. Because they have to play like they can't catch her, and they're like they couldn't have grabbed her right there when they had her like trapped in, but it is what it is. It's the storyline. And so they're chasing her throughout the woods. The guards are looking for her, and she sees one of the guards. She's screaming for the guard, and he gets shot in the face. Like,
Yeah,
dead in the face.
Flea's crew can actually hit something.
Yeah, you go figure. So they get her, and they take her. I think they are after that. There's a beeping. We go back to Tatooine, and there's a beeping in a cave, and Obi-Wan hears some kind of device beeping in the background, and he starts looking, and he opens an old box, and as he's opening it, you can see his eyes widening, because he knows that this is not a normal noise he hears and doesn't ever expect to hear, and
Doesn't want to hear.
it doesn't want to hear. And next thing you know, it is Bail Organa and his wife pleading to him to go save Leia because she has now been kidnapped.
Help me,
And
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
yeah, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're our only hope. You're the only one, because they couldn't ask any bounty hunters, any of their guards to go searching for her because they wouldn't understand the importance of looking for her. And they can only entrust Obi-Wan with this task. And so he tells them no. He tells them flat out, I am not the same. I'm not the man I used to be. You got to look for somebody else.
Short of fuck no, he pretty much said. He's like,
yeah, I mean,
not happening.
Much. You feel now that you watch from the very beginning of the episode, you feel the hurt and pain that Obi-Wan is actually going through, because he was tasked to keep both of them safe, to look over Luke, but to keep both of them safe. Right away from the Empire. Now she is in danger, and he neglects his Jedi code so many times, and even to the direness of his one of his best friends.
Yeah.
Someone he fought next to with in the Clone Wars. So like that's a very, like, if you understand those stories, then you go, oh, that weight that he has on him is quite tremendous. And so we go back. He goes back to his whale, his shark. Does his thing, and he comes back, and there's an intruder.
That's right.
There's an intruder. Yeah. He has a little defense, a little alarm system that he has, and somebody's inside his cave. And obviously, a lot of people were hoping it was Qui-Gon.
Oh yeah, let's get a Force Ghost to show up in there.
I wasn't expecting Qui-Gon, because I mean, obviously, why would he be doing waiting for him where he can just show up where he is?
Yeah.
So it's Bail Organa, and he is there to plead in person. One more time, Obi-Wan, can you please go save Leia? I am asking you as my friend, as a comrade, like anything he can beg, basically, to show him how dire it is.
So I just
far away he went to go.
Yeah. I just love that he didn't give him like a ship or anything. He's like, I mean, not that Obi-Wan doesn't need money or any of that crap, but I figured he would at least go, "Hey, I got a shitty ship over here that you can go and take."
Uh,
Not the Millennium Falcon, folks. Don't get your heart hope thing, but like something like, here's a ship. I know they went in here because he tells them where they went. He knows where they went, and at least go, okay, can you go? I'm helping you. I'm literally pushing you into the fucking ship.
yeah, I get, but see, the reason why that they only went to Obi-Wan, they could not ask anyone else, is the same reason why they could not give them anything from Alderaan to assist him. Because also, the ships have tracking, they have guidance, you can probably track down where it's gone and come and gone, right? So
Yeah.
and so you don't want any trace, they don't want any trace connected to Obi-Wan and them anyways, right? So it's already a dicey situation. He's a Jedi that they've been searching for, so they can't even connect to it. He's still a
Wow.
senator, right?
That's
So
bad, Battle Panda. That was bad. That's almost as bad as my give it away joke.
That's awesome. That is an awesome Star Wars dad joke. I swear to God.
But anyway, so
But yeah, like that's why I understand why he couldn't assist. No, now I do get upset that maybe he could have given him some money, some credits,
yeah,
right? That he could have used, right? That would have helped him get around at least easier. But not providing any ships or anything like that. I understand that because you don't want the connection.
he did do what he needed to do though. He guilted the fuck out of him, and Obi-Wan finally said, "Okay, fine." And you see the next scene him going in the middle of the desert, which I'll be honest, I don't know how he find a buried treasure.
Well,
Even
it's the Force, bro.
please, but either way, he finds this box in the middle of the desert. I mean, obviously he's got some tracker or something, I guess.
I mean,
But
I'm
he,
sure he buried it like 10 years ago too. So I don't know. You're right. I don't know
but
how he found it after
yeah,
10 years.
but he goes and digs up Ray's lightsaber. I'm sorry, Ben's lightsaber. What? No, too soon. She does the exact same thing.
It's not Ray's lightsaber. Ray's lightsaber is yellow.
I know, but she does the
It's
same fucking
always been
thing.
Ben. It's always been Obi-Wan's lightsaber. Okay.
I know, but she did the exact same thing. She buries it in the desert. Uh Clamordian. I was thinking about saying a G spot joke too. Battle Panda. But anyways, and that's I believe where we end the episode, isn't it?
Yes. He finds he finds not only his lightsaber but also Anakin's lightsaber. They're in the same box. Obviously, the one he's going to hand over to Luke.
Yeah.
In episode 4. So it's a cool callback. It's a cool connection. It's all the feels that you wanted. All the right connections, because you don't want that force shit, right? There's a reason, and if you can make the reason look legitimate, then it all fits and it all feels well.
Yep.
So
and to be fair to me, the whole episode I thought was well done. It wasn't oh my god amazing, but it was well done. It got you from A to B. Now is primed and ready for B to C. What about you? What did you think of that first episode?
The first episode I really liked. I liked it because just the establishing us back in the world of Star Wars, right? Because when as Star Wars fans, I think the most complaint that I've ever heard of any Star Wars fan is it doesn't feel like Star Wars. Right? That I hate it when something doesn't feel like Star Wars. Right?
Yeah.
I'll go with it. That's fine. But the feeling that it doesn't feel like the world that we watched in the 70s and 80s is very difficult for us to overcome sometimes. But that's why we love the Mando and Ahsoka and all, Maybe not so
I
much
hate I
Boba
hate
Fett.
fucking sand.
But the fact is when we got to here on the first episode, I felt like we were on Tatooine.
Yes.
I felt like, ooh, this does feel a little bit like it's just 10 years earlier from episode 4.
Yeah.
Right. And very believable that he has cut ties with the Force, so he is not sensed and can't be found. That he's cut tie with the Jedi Code, so he doesn't, as the Grand Inquisitors say, hunt himself.
Right.
And he doesn't endanger Luke.
And Luke still annoyed the shit out of me and didn't say a damn thing.
I mean, what can you do? He's a kid. You don't like kids. You want to murder all of them. So hey, it all fits. But yeah, I definitely liked it. So I'm gonna, if I was to, what are we grading it?
Out of 5 stars.
Okay, so out of 5 stars, I would give this a good solid 3.5 stars. Just because we're getting very established. I probably, the only reason why I give it 3.5 stars is because Riva is, without explanation, we are seeing this madness.
Yeah.
Right. And to me, I'm not going to get upset that she's overacting, maybe. Because I don't know the reason why. There's so many more episodes left. I need to know the reason. If I see the whole thing and I go, if she has a good reason to be acting that way, then it all makes sense, right?
I'm hoping she was like one of the younglings.
I think that's it too. But in my mind, I was trying to think, okay, she's connected to Anakin somehow, or Darth Vader and the Jedi Order. And maybe she was saved by Anakin during the Clone Wars, or at some point, right? That brought her to the Jedi Temple to become a youngling.
Possibly.
And to her, Obi-Wan Kenobi is the one who betrays Anakin and betrays the Jedi Order, betrays the world, the galaxy, and the whole Jedi Order does. So that could be her thought process.
Very much so. Could very much be.
And that's how I looked at it. That's how I looked at her motivation, as someone who was like fucking wrong, who was saved by someone, then almost that person was almost killed by the people who you thought were supposed to be the good people, the good guys, right? So that can turn you pretty shitty.
See, and see, the funny thing is, I loved her. I thought I I understand everyone's saying she's a little bit like a Doberman pinscher, like going after you a bit.
Yep.
But at the same time, I was just like, I want my Sith and stuff to be like almost like spits coming out of their mouth. They're just kind of mentally unstable. I don't want them to be like Thrawn, I want them to be just slightly unhinged, and some of them even more slightly unhinged. And she was definitely on the more slightly unhinged.
I mean, because I just picture Inquisitors are rabid dogs, anyways. They are hunters.
Yes.
Right. And then on top of all of that, they're not even Sith, so they're not even good enough to become a Sith.
Yeah.
Right. But so
let's now move on to the next episode, because what's up, Chef? There's a whole lot of goodness in this next episode, because we finally get out of the fucking desert, thank God, and we get into a city. What was the city's place? Diva? It wasn't Diva. Devos?
Yeah, something like that. It's a planet.
Yeah. But basically, it's kind of like a Null Hutta.
Nivu or Devu or something like that. Yeah.
But it's basically like a Null Hutta, where crime has taken over the place.
Yes, it's I think an allegory for it.
Right, and it's not a safe place for anyone to go, let alone a Jedi or a 9-year-old girl.
It's basically a very scum and villainy kind of town. Probably very corrupt. They don't like people tracking them there, so they have a blocker for it.
Yeah, that's because we find out right at the very beginning Like he goes in there and goes, "Hey, I'm looking for this ship. Do you know where it is?" And they're like, "Yeah, you can't track coming in or like all signal coming in and out of this place are blocked.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you kind of looking for this?" Like the guy's like, "You're off basis here," and that's kind of Obi-Wan kind of realizes, oh, I have to act a certain way, I guess. Um, yeah, I did notice that, Glenn, that the clone trooper that was homeless was Morrison.
Yes. Yeah, well, I mean,
they have to be.
All clone troopers are Tamura Morrison.
Yeah.
By nature. But I think the question people had was that Rex, was that a clone trooper we knew? It was definitely a 501st though,
Right.
because it had the right, at least, clone outfit on.
The markings.
Yeah, they had the correct markings and everything. So definitely someone who would probably have served with Ahsoka or Anakin.
So I believe we start out the episode though with him kind of walking down the street. He meets a spice dealer.
Yes.
With all of her different types of spices. And as any good dealer would do, the first hit's free on the house. Which I thought was great. I was just like, okay.
But it was really sad and depressing and showing you how like fucked up that place is.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I'm looking for my daughter. Oh, sweetie, you're never gonna find it. Here's a hit to forget about her.
Yeah. And I like the hit. Okay, is it just me or did it look like you ever go to like a pizza place and they have the mozzarella contained like on the table, the shaker mozzarella? It looked like a big ball, like a mozzarella shaker of it, but it was obviously red. But I mean, I was just like, oh, that's gonna be interesting. Have given a Jedi a big ball of spice. That was a lot of spice. But I think then don't we cut to the scene of?
No, you forget the other little kid.
Oh, the other little kid that is.
Remember, he said, like, "I can help you."
Yeah, I can help you find him. And that's when the next scene we get introduced to our favorite Eternal that shows up. What was it? Namar Kuntamali, I think I want to say his name.
Oh God, Kumar Nanjiani.
Yeah. Great actor. Weird to see him in this though. Kind of took me out of it.
A little bit, and only because I think for some reason certain actors they always act the same way in every movie, and his bit was the same as just as in Internals, probably in just about, you know, like the Big Sick. So I mean, it is what it is. Camille, it's Camille. Shoot,
Camille Nanjiani.
Yeah. So he's a funny guy, cool actor. He just out of place in Star Wars a little bit.
At least as that character, because he's,
or just at least in that moment,
he's a very, every time he comes off to me, very nice and very, very warm and pleasant. And to see that he is, you can obviously tell he's a scammer. Like at no moment did I think he was a Jedi.
He was a con man. Yeah, you can tell he was a con man, especially when Obi-Wan is standing off to the side. You get that it's.
Yeah, like he's watching him to see how
innuendo that he's going, oh, this is not right. Something's not right.
Yeah, and I mean he just he's supposed to come off slimy, like he's one of those mules trying to get people across the border, but he doesn't. He's too likable of a guy as a person, it seems like to me. But
I mean, he does explain what he does.
Right? No, he does. But it was interesting to see that, and it was kind of cool. Like Obi-Wan calls him on it, like shows the magnets in his hands and stuff.
You're a harlequin. Yeah. You're a charlatan. Yeah.
I think somewhere in there we might have missed where we get a scene, update of Leia, where she is caught and she is kind of beating up on the guys as she's being tied up. She's trying to step on their feet and stuff. Um, Not much you can do as a 9-year-old child to an old man, but I think we also find out at that time that this was all staged by Reva.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously we found that out at the end of episode 1, I believe, or at the beginning. I
I
can't
think the
remember
beginning
too.
of this episode.
Where he's they're going, I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know why we kidnapped her. Uh, you think it's a good idea to kidnap the senator's daughter, you know? and she said, this is to bring out, Obi-Wan. Jedi's hunt themselves. He won't be able to help himself because she found out in the archives that Bail Organa and Obi-Wan Kenobi had served together in the Clone Wars. So she knew that they had a connection. So if anything was going to happen to her, she assumes that Bail Organa is going to look for him to ask him for help. And I don't know. That's still a little far-fetched for me. Just because the guy's been gone for freaking 10 years and not heard of. So, and there had probably not been any connections in those 10 years with Bail Organa. So the fact is it was far-fetched, and I get it. But it is a connection, and she was right.
Yeah. Or at least she was written to be right.
Yeah, well, either which way. I mean, it's that's the whole plot, right? Is it the egg or the chicken?
Yep. So basically, Obi-Wan gets some information and finds where the kid is. Silicon Valley is a great show.
Was a
great show. Sorry. Robin Hood. Anyways, finds out where she is. It kind of stakes out a little bit, and
figures
a way in. Obviously, saves the kid.
He goes Star Wars Breaking Bad in this bitch.
Yeah, I love the fact that he smoke bombs them with the fucking spice in the room.
But that's what fucking Walter White did shit too.
Yeah, I know. No, I know. And locks him in there, and then he gets away with her. And so now the episode's all about him trying to get back to the spaceport with her and not be caught.
Right, but Reva has been brought there because they put
all of them are there. Reva
all I can hear is Admiral Akbar going, It's a trap. It's a trap. He goes right into it, and this is obvious why he goes into it, right? Because he hasn't been a Jedi for fucking 10 years. He has he's not in touch with the Force. He can't sense anything. Obviously he wasn't using it when he was fighting those two guys inside.
No. Because he doesn't use it once at all.
No, he was fighting like a regular person, just fist fighting. And so he's just he's lost. He's lost. Yeah. He's no longer who he was. He was not joking.
Well, and I mean, he does get away with her, or gets out of the building with her, but then she, being a little princess and being a snot, she doesn't make it easy for him. She's like, how do I know my dad sent me? Who are you? This stuff.
She's a smart little girl, right? She's already been kidnapped. She doesn't know what's going on. So she's questioning everything because Ben's lying.
Yeah.
He is lying. He doesn't tell her, who he is or what he can do or show her or prove it.
Yeah.
And he knows things that he's not telling her.
Right. I did like the scene though when they're trying to buy jackets to kind of cover up to hide, and she then starts putting the gloves on. He's like, and then he's like, fuck it, I gotta buy the gloves. I thought that was kind of funny.
I mean, look, I feel like Leia is force sensitive in these moments since we meet her, since the fact that she can she digs at her cousin. I know she's smart, right? But
Yeah,
as that young, you can only be so smart. The fact is she's intuitive, and that intuitiveness comes from probably the force, and that she was able to read her cousin's mind, or his feelings, and throw it back at him. So she's doing the same thing here, is like she's very intuitive, like he's lying, there's something wrong, and almost like force push the fact that she wanted the fucking gloves.
yeah,
It's
pretty
almost
much.
felt like that.
Um, so during this time, as they're trying to make their way to the spaceport, Reva shows up with the Grand Inquisitor and
No.
the other
Riva
brother.
was there already, but the Grand
Oh,
Inquisitor
the Grand
shows
Inquisitor
up
shows up. Yeah,
with fifth brother, and I want to say it's fourth sister or second sister. I can't remember.
I told you they need to have fucking numbers on them.
I think it's
Told
fourth
you.
sister.
But either way, they end up closing down the spaceport.
Yes.
And then she's like, "Well, two complained that because he tells Reva step down.
Yes. This is when,
Like
yeah.
this is, and I think he kind of told her before on Tatooine, hey, we'll get him, but not right now. And he sees that Reva is trying to get the promotion, trying to get outdo him, which is the Sith way anyway. But he basically told her, hey, stand down. I've got this. I'm going to bring this guy to Vader, not you. And Reva isn't having any part of that. And she basically says, well, two can play this game, and puts a bounty out or lets everyone know that she's looking for him and the girl. So everyone all of a sudden their bounty chips or whatever their watches light up, showing pictures of him and the girl.
And remember, Riva's the one who sends out the call for the bounty hunters, and the Inquisitors are unaware of this.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Um, and basically creates utter chaos. Now all of a sudden, I believe the third sister will die here.
That's not a bad theory, Chef.
Possibly.
That's actually a really good theory.
Possibly. I noticed that we have, at least of all the ones he's getting chased by, we've got a robot that looks like Forlom. It's obviously not Forlom.
No, it's not Forlom. They did say that much, but it is
Yeah.
the same droid.
Same droid type.
Yeah.
I was really kind of sad. I was hoping that maybe we might get like a Bosk in there or something. You know what I mean? I understand why they didn't.
You know what? I was actually hoping that too, but it is a big galaxy. So, I mean, who's to say any one of those 7 fucking bounty hunters that we actually know are on that same planet?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, we could have had Black K show up too.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that they were on that planet, and that what that hunt went on was like it happened within like 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
I know.
There's like no time for anybody to come off world to get there.
Well, no, I wasn't expecting that, but you got to remember, this is a planet that's all about villains.
Yeah, no, I get it, but there's also other planets like that too.
No, there is. I mean, like Null Hutta. But I just saying, I was kind of hoping that we may get something, but it's all good. Yeah. But anyway, so they're tracking him down. They actually end up Obi-Wan ends up killing, or no, he's about to get hurt by one when Kamal Namjani shows up, correct? And he ends up killing the droid.
Well, I think before that moment, he is so Leia runs away, and they're running on the rooftops, and he's chasing after her, and then he gets shot at by the bounty hunters, and then she jumps,
Oh
And
yeah, that's right.
obviously she can't freaking jump that far. She's a little 8-9-year-old. And as she's falling, she grabs onto wires, and she's letting go. She can't hold on for much longer. Falls down, and Obi-Wan is forced, no
Forced
pun
to use the
intended,
force.
forced to use the force. Um, and probably for the first time in 10 years.
Yeah,
And
because
you
you can
can
tell he's
tell
rusty.
he's so struggling to connect back with the force. Um, and barely saves her, puts her down. He finally gets down there. And that's when, like, he's trying to get to a port, and he's about to get shot behind from that Forlom droid type. And Camille comes from behind and shoots and kills the droid.
Yeah, and so Camille, then they have the conversation. Camille basically, the whole thing of, hey, I realize that what I was doing was wrong. Here, let me redeem myself. There is one way to get out. There is these commercial ships that you can take that they can't stop. There's nothing around it. Here's the key. Go there. You'll be good.
It's a automated cargo ship that goes to a mining planet. So like there's no stopping it. It's all automated. They don't expect anybody to be on it. So that's why it was like the perfect getaway. And that's what he was been doing the whole time, even though he was pretending to be a Jedi. He was actually good intentions behind it. He's just making a little money.
Right. And then he's like, I will deal with these guys. You just go get her off the planet. So they start going off. I don't remember. Did he end up dying?
Who? No, he does not. So,
Okay.
he tells him to go.
That's
and
right.
He volunteers to stay behind to at least slow down the Inquisitor.
And then Reva catches
obviously,
him.
it's obviously Reva, third sister, because she was watching over the rooftops anyways, chasing. And he pretends he's a Jedi, and she goes, "You're no Jedi." Force pushes him into the wall, and then does her force mind trick where she pulls the information from Camille about where they're headed.
Yeah. Mind you, also, when she's running around the rooftops and doing those flips up, that was some pretty badass stuff.
Okay, a lot of it was parkour, but some of it was unnecessary.
No,
like,
some of it was definitely unnecessary.
She did not have to jump around that fucking wall when she was jumping over shit that was a lot higher.
Yeah. But it looked cool.
Yeah, it looked cool. I'll give her that.
But so then she chases after Ben and Leia. Leia gets the ship. Like Ben's like, "How go?"
Well, they get into that port, yeah.
But they get separated. Remember?
Yeah, so once they get in, they're talking and they have a conversation where Ben basically says, "You remind me of someone I knew, who was very strong, and very stubborn."
Yeah, his name is Jar Jar.
No, I think it was her mother. Definitely not a Jar Jar. And so and then when as they're walking around to find the transport ship,
shuttle.
Yeah, the shuttle, they Reva comes in looking for them, and he basically tells her, "Look, you get on. If I don't make it, you go." Or I think he was telling her, "I'll make it," but basically forcing her to go on the ship first. And oh man, you want to tell it?
I'll let you go ahead. I'll let you.
Okay, so Reva gets into, does the old dark side trick. You gotta get into the mind of your enemy, and she's telling him he's alive.
Yeah.
Anakin Skywalker is alive. And you can see it on his face. Great acting, just struggling.
Oh, yeah.
His eyes are tearing up. You can actually see it, and like you see the memories flooding back into his head, and the fact that he thought what was probably the end of the Jedi died, but he's still alive. And the fact that he's hunting him, and he's been
Yes.
hunting him for all these years. Now he's fearing it because he is no longer the Jedi he once was. And if this guy is angry and he's powerful and he's a Sith, he's in deep shit.
Well, and it's also the fact that he realizes now that because he didn't kill Anakin, he unleashed a monster on the
on
world,
the galaxy, right?
on the
And
galaxy.
on top of that, he's with his daughter and he left his son unguarded. So he
Yeah.
is scared shitless right now.
And then somehow I forget how he gets away. Do you remember, Jeff? Sorry, it's a moth or something there.
Yeah, so so what happens is actually he doesn't do anything to get away. The Grand Inquisitor shows up.
That's right.
And the Grand Inquisitor basically tells her to back the fuck off. He's gonna go get her. I don't want you to lose him. And he's about to use the Force. And as he's about to use the Force to grab Obi-Wan through the freaking, shipyard, she stabs the hell out of him right in the stomach.
He deserved it.
The Grand Inquisitor, who is in Rebels.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and Rebels happens after Obi-Wan. Technically, I think about 5 years later. Maybe a little less. But I know it's supposed to happen like 5 years before Episode 4 is Rebels. And it leads up to Rogue One.
Is it?
I think so.
Well, because I know there's a time jump in there.
Yeah, there's a small time jump, yes. But that time jump is leads us to Mando. Right?
Because Rebels takes place during,
it's right after the Clone Wars.
It's right after Clone Wars.
Right.
I know part of it takes place during Rogue One because Syndulla is in Rogue One.
Ooh, I don't know. I didn't catch his name. That's a good question, Wookie. I'll go back and check.
Yeah, we have to go back and check that one. Quiet, Cyclops. We'll get to that.
So what are you saying, JR?
I'm trying to think when that time play, because Rebels takes place because it kind of jumps. It's got I want to say like a 10-year span is Rebels.
Yes, I know it does jump because it jumped from, and I think the jump starts when Kanan is blinded, I think.
Possibly.
Right after he gets blinded, I think it jumps.
Because I know also like at the very end of it jumps to after Return of the Jedi, because that's when the searching for Ahsoka is.
Yes.
But I'm trying to think if the Grand Inquisitor. Well, I mean, it is possible the Grand Inquisitor is alive.
Well,
just because he got stabbed,
it's quite possible. Yeah, I mean, Fennec Shen survived a shot to the stomach.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and on top of that, there is clone technology.
So it is possible that the Grand Inquisitor still is alive. I imagine. Since we might as well talk. I mean, you've already seen 3. I have not watched episode 3, but I imagine at some point we're gonna get the status on the Grand Inquisitor.
Now, I think we'll get the Grand Inquisitor by the end of the show, by the end of the series. I think we'll have him back. I don't think he's dead. Yes, we saw a body. Yes, we saw him get stabbed. In the Star Wars universe, it's a little bit different, though. They have Bacta tanks. They have modders. So, I mean, there's all kinds of things that can happen. And he's dark side, so they can maybe...
Force healing.
Force healing, could have shifted his organs. Who knows? I don't know. It's Star Wars.
So, what are we hoping to get out of, in general, what are you hoping?
So I want to say this, though. about Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. So I remember as a kid, um,
A long time
after
ago.
watching Star Wars, you see, Darth Vader kill Obi-Wan, and then there was that. Um, I think George Lucas might have talked about the history of Obi-Wan and Darth Vader in
Mm-hmm.
interviews, and he mentioned something like, "Oh yeah, Obi-Wan like basically kicked Darth Vader's ass before, and that's why Darth Vader's Darth Vader." And but I also remember hearing something like that. Those two battles that he talked about, which was the one that where he becomes Darth Vader, and the one that we see where he kills basically Obi-Wan in Episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
Those were not the only two battles they've ever had in the
Right.
history of Star Wars, right?
Right.
So, and if I remember correctly, Obi-Wan kicked his ass it that one time,
And Mustafar,
but
where he
Darth
had high
Vader
ground.
basically kicked his ass every time after that.
That's
So
possible.
I think I remember that's how it went, or at least like yeah, the majority of battles were won by Darth Vader, even if Ben got away. But yeah, that's what I remember, and that's what I want to see going forward. I want to see a couple more battles, and I do want to see what happens with the fifth brother, because he does seem like he's very upset with Reva.
Yeah.
Right. I do want to hear more about her background. What I think is going to happen is what I really hope is this is the story that brings Obi-Wan back to the Force a little bit so he can do his training with Qui-Gon, because I don't feel like he's actually done his training with Qui-Gon that much. Like he might have did it for maybe the first year, but after that, like realized he had to stop.
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know what that storyline is, because I mean, obviously he must have connected to Qui-Gon at some point, because he's calling out for him like throughout this, first two episodes, right?
Yeah.
And so at some point he must have connected with him. So I want to see that. I would love to see that actually. I want to see. I guess I want to see how Leia is affected by meeting Obi-Wan or Ben. When we leave this story, because I just don't.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the connection where, because remember in Episode 4, she says you served in the Clone Wars with my father. Whereas she referred to him as someone she didn't know,
Right.
only knew him by passing. So, is it that she gonna get mind wiped?
Yeah, that but also
Or
notice
she's not gonna make the connection because it's just Ben?
yeah, because he's never referred to himself as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
But the fact that he's told her that your father sent me, I mean, there must be a connection there, right? Like, do you understand? Like,
Right. No, I get what you're saying, but I think as a child she may have also just kind of put it away. She's a 9-year-old child.
yeah, I
He
mean,
referred
10
to
years
himself
later,
as
yeah,
he only referred to himself as Ben.
yeah, no, I get it. So
So
I guess the other thing is that I want to see where these Inquisitors go, because I want to see another Jedi.
yeah, I was gonna ask, is there any cameos you would like to see? Even if it's someone just showing up in the background or something.
Ahsoka.
It is
I mean,
possible.
it's not impossible.
No.
I don't think we've ever heard of Ben meeting Ahsoka after the Clone Wars.
No, not that I know of.
Not that I know of, but it's not impossible. It's not an improbable thing to have happened, though, because it doesn't mean he had to tell that story at any point in the future, right? So it's not impossible.
I think we all would love to see that one, or this is my favorite, Quinlan Voss. Do you know who that is? Obviously, right?
I know who Quinlan Voss is.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I watched the Clone Wars.
We'll see. I was kind of thinking, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure who I'd hope to show up in this. I wouldn't mind seeing, and I know it's not going to happen, but I know that they did in the books, in the recent Disney books, they did have Anakin and Thrawn meet when Anakin was still Anakin.
That would be, honestly, I think that would be cool. I don't know if
But
I
I don't
want
think it would fit in
Thrawn.
the story.
I just don't know if I want Thrawn introduced in Obi-Wan though.
Yeah.
When we already know that he's coming to Ahsoka, I just don't want that ruined for that show.
Right.
And the fact is we're not, even if Thrawn shows up in this, right? We're not gonna see how badass he is. So it's just gonna fucking show up and it's just gonna be meh.
No, I agree. I agree.
So I don't think you get the best out of that appearance. Here's something I do want to see. I wouldn't mind seeing some connection to Crimson Dawn.
That wouldn't be bad.
Or some witches.
Yes.
Okay.
The daughters of Dathomir.
I just because even the Inquisitors were killing them. So like, I mean, they're killing everyone, dude. Anybody who's Force sensitive is basically a dead ass.
And to answer Chef's question, where's Ezra? He's on a space whale traveling through time.
He is beyond the Outer Rim. He is beyond Tatooine. He is so yeah, that's where he supposedly is.
Yeah, on a space whale.
At this moment, I don't think he's there yet, though. I think Ezra is actually
at this
kid.
moment.
I don't even know if he's born.
I think he's in his father's fuel tank.
Oh yeah, I think he is born, but he's probably like a baby.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who else would be interesting to see.
Kanan would be interesting to find.
Kanan would be interesting to see.
But I don't know if he's ever met Obi-Wan.
No.
I don't think he has. Another one that would be cool to see is maybe Mom Mothma.
Mom Mothma, yeah. I kind of would like to see another Vader cut down some Jedis.
Oh, that's for sure. Like, for sure, the only thing I know I'm going to see probably is more Vader killing fucking things.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to see Vader do his thing. I want to see him fight Obi-Wan. I want to see him kill fucking people using the Force. I want him to kill an Inquisitor.
You know what might be interesting to see? Savage, Darth Maul's brother.
Yes. Yeah, see, but yeah, but isn't he with his brother at this moment? So I don't know.
Well, we don't know where. So remember, in the Clone Wars, Obi-Wan kills Darth Maul.
Right. No. But at this moment, he's actually, I think, in charge of Crimson Dawn.
Darth Maul is.
Yes.
But we don't know. We haven't seen a live action version of Savage yet.
No, we have not. That would be interesting. Cool.
It'd be interesting to see Savage show up to take out Obi-Wan.
I don't, in the way I say this,
I don't think it'll happen, but
no, yeah, I don't feel like we're gonna see Savage, Oppress, or Darth Maul at all in this series, is because we've already seen their species in it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And the way Star Wars does things sometimes is like, oh, well, we can't show these characters, but we'll show his species.
If we had a couple more years, I would love to see a Bad Batch show up, but they're not going to show us anything of Bad Batch for a while. Live action.
No, they won't connect that. That'd be dumb while it's like happening right now. So
yeah.
I do want to touch on one thing though. Can I?
Okay. Yeah.
I want to talk
not
about
your thing.
No, I want to talk about this Star Wars like hatred for Moses. So actor for Reva. Like I know people have addressed this, and it's a very few, like I understand it's a lot, probably hundreds of DMs that she's getting, maybe even thousands. But the majority of Star Wars fans are not like these people. It's just, it happens to be the minority is the loudest voice when it comes to hate. And look, you don't have to like the way she's acting. You don't have to like her character. right? That's perfectly fine. You can have that opinion. But when you cross the line with race and her gender and that's taking it too far. So like to those people, you know, y'all need a hug. And to everyone else, keep on supporting her. And I like I said, I don't think we've heard the whole story of why she's acting this way. And I have to believe Deborah Chow is a good enough producer and Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are great enough producers that they're not going to let the way she's acting not be understood later on. There has to be a means, that they're getting to. Oh, yeah.
It's just I'm getting sick of this. It started out with Jar Jar, the guy who played Jar Jar Binks, Ahmad Best, I think his name was.
Yeah. That guy got a lot of hate.
He got hate. Kelly Tran, and mind you, I fucking hate her character, but I would never go after her as a human being.
Y'all have too much fucking energy that should be put somewhere else.
Right. But I mean, and I didn't think she played her character bad. I just thought she was a poorly written character.
And it's not her fault.
Yeah. But I mean, in the woman Moses that's playing Rhea, I love her. I think she's great. I can care less what race or gender or whatever she is.
Yep.
She's fucking amazing. I think she's exactly what I want my villain to be. You're not supposed to like her. I'm crazy. I like her. But
and the thing gets me Star Wars. They're over the top villains.
The thing that gets
over the top.
The thing that gets me is, and we just spent a weekend with 100,000 or however many Star Wars fans from across the world, and they always say Star Wars fans are toxic, and they're these evil people.
View. Yeah,
I know, but they always say that. But I found myself every day immersed with fans. I talked to people at Celebration that were from England, that were from Canada, British Columbia,
South America.
I mean, and they're all great people. Bunch of just super nice people that all just want to have fun. And I heard Kelly Tran was there, and I saw photos from her, and she looked amazing. She had fans loved her.
She got standing ovation.
She was packed on all of her stuff, which is fucking awesome. And I'll be honest, I'll be one of the first when Moses comes, I'm gonna be there and get a signed picture with her because I thought she was amazing. Don't believe the hype that Star Wars fans are toxic. Yes, there's assholes like me that don't like certain stuff, but at the same time, I'm not going to go and go after someone because of their race or
I don't think you're going to make an effort and jump in her DMs and say you fucking suck. Like that. Even if you didn't like the way she acted, even going that far is too much. Don't DM her unless it's like.
I mean, I hate Rian Johnson. I think he's a horrible director, but I'm not going to go and fucking message him and attack him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just dumb. It makes us all look like idiots. Yes, Bravo, you are an asshole just like me. It's all good.
Look, Star Wars is with Disney, and let's take a lesson from Disney. Everybody who is toxic in Star Wars, who's racist, who has something to say to somebody that's negative, go watch fucking Bambi, go listen to Thumper's mom, and if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't fucking say it at all. That's all I have to say, because it is worthless fucking energy and wasteful energy, and it's not worth it. Just if you don't like it, don't watch it. I'm sorry if it's not your Star Wars, but for all you racist and misogynistic people, Star Wars was never for you anyways.
And fuck off.
It was never for you. They said it best. There's 20 million fucking species in Star Wars galaxy. So yeah, they obviously don't give a shit about your racist fucking beliefs.
Yeah. But on that note, You want to send us out, Jeff?
Yeah. So thank you everyone for stopping by. Thank you for tuning in. If you guys, leave a message, leave a comment, let us know what you think of episode 1 and 2. We will do episode number 3 next week.
Yep.
And let us know about all of that. Yeah.
And hit us up if you want to be on here too.
Yeah.
We'd love to have a third person or fourth person on here.
If you want to review and help out JR here. Hit us up. But with that said, I guess the only way to do it is I don't even know what to say on this one. Oh shoot. Hold on.
Just as long as you don't do a Trek reference, we'll be fine.
If you want to do it right, Star Wars for life. Thank you.